Hey everybody, it's Brick Waffle here, and I hope you're excited for this episode. I'm excited. We've done quite a bit over the Christmas vacation that we have not been able to record, so hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, and I haven't had the opportunity and the setup to record. I like doing that when nobody else is at home, because it makes it nice and quiet. And today my wife had to go back to work. I'm sorry, Sakala. I know you'd rather be playing games, but I still have the day off, so I'm going to do a little bit of recording for you. So I want to start out and give you an idea of what's been going on the server. We've had quite a bit of building going on. Zeotech has been building like a madman, and he and I have put together some pumpkin and melon towers. I put out the area that I was planning to do that. He had started on the pumpkin tower, then I came back and finished the melon tower and changed up the clock underneath and used some water streams to move the items up and back and down into these chests. So you can see that right now we've got a little over 4 stacks of pumpkin, and wow, that's 25 stacks, maybe 25 stacks of glistering melon slices, something like that. So that is producing very effectively. It's pretty resource cheap, actually. It's just regular pistons, so no slimes. Redstone torches are cheap. That's a single block of water in the top of each of them that goes all the way from the top to the bottom, and then also forms the water stream that kicks things into the glass elevators. So that's working really well. Pretty happy with that. When we need pumpkin for jack-o'-lanterns or other things, or we need melon for potions, we're going to be all set. So we're also going to come over here, and I don't know why I keep jumping on top of this thing. We're going to go through the nether, and I'm going to show you what I've got planned for today. I've got 2 things planned. You can probably see from the amount of levels that I have here that we have a new experience farm. That was a quick project indeed. We found a stronghold, and I had every intention of recording a Ender Dragon fight. Oh man, sorry Sana. But that didn't work out. We ended up going through at a very late hour. There was some noise going around. I have 2 new cats, actually, so they have been playing with their little ball toy, which causes a lot of jingling and is kind of bad for recording. So we ended up just doing that off camera. And then when I logged in this morning, I saw that Zeotech had taken the note I posted that we should do an Ender farm next, and did that overnight. So we have a new Ender farm. I went in and made a couple of tweaks to it, but I'm going to show you the whole thing here. So you can see right now, hello Enderman, that we have Enderman farm made by Zeotech. This is the Doc M JL227 design for 1.8, so it does not require nearly the amount of vertical space that you had to have in the past. So we didn't have to go down to like 10 and then build up all these levels above for spawning platforms to make it efficient. It uses a trick with endermites, and player spawned endermites from throwing an ender pearl make any nearby enderman aggressive, and then they'll walk right over a trapdoor trying to get to it. So basically they keep spawning at the top, trying to get to the endermite, falling to the bottom where they're one-hit kills, and then new ones can spawn in their place. So this is very, very effective with a lot fewer resources. No pistons at all. And the only tweaks I made to it were I put in some soul sand so that I could put hoppers under here. And then I added in over on this side, you can see there's a hopper here that's exposed right now. That allows me to chuck items into this, and you can hear a click. Maybe you heard that. That sends it into this water stream that I know you can't really see from over here. So if we go over to this side, you can probably see there's some end stone there. Maybe you can see the glass. It depends on how YouTube does with the recording here. But there is a water and ice stream that sends all the items that way, up into a glass elevator, and then in through the end portal so we can collect them in the overworld. I also added a quick enchanting room here with an ender chest so you can collect things like my dragon egg. And we've got these extra items here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those things into our collection system so you can see that they do work. Throw both those in, you can maybe hear those clicking. And this is the typical farm, so you can get in this cart and then just one-hit kill with punches, kill these guys. You'll pick up a few of the pearls before the hoppers can sometimes, but otherwise all those pearls are going to go into that dispenser. You can hear that firing off now. It just keeps firing off as long as there's items in it. So we'll throw a few more in here, and then we will go right back. Alright, so while we're on our way back, the trick with the end portal I saw on the Hermitcraft server originally, and so basically any items you throw through the end portal show up exactly at the spawn coordinates in the overworld, and they show up on top of the block that's at the exact world spawn. So whatever height you build to, the ender pearls or other items you kick through the portal will show up there. Now sometimes they will get stuck in this water channel because this is far enough to get unloaded, but when you come by and you load this area again, they will pick up where they left off and they'll continue along their merry way. And when we come up here, you can see, well, we'll never be able to catch it. That rail cart's not nearly as fast as the water streams over packed ice. but items will flow up through this glass, hit that water stream, and then run into this sign and get dropped into the portal like we're going to do. So we come back at our bed because that's our spawn. Any items always come through at the default world spawn, or whatever you've set the world spawn to in this case. So we can go over there and see that those items have made their way. Now the other advantage to this is that I wanted to show off a little bit, two things here. Before we get over to see those items, I wanted to mention that we built this stables in the last episode. Thank you, Zeotech, for bringing me that donkey that I was looking for. And in our guest stable, we have Oberon here, and I believe that's Sonata Block's horse because he doesn't have a stable yet. So that's something else we're going to do this episode. We're going to go build him a stable so he has a place to park his horse that's a little bit closer to his house. Now, I know that's not too far. He's right there. I'm right up at the top of the hill. But I'm sure it would be nice to park your car in your own garage, so to speak. And that makes it more convenient for him, I hope. So we're going to do that here shortly. But before we get to that, let's go back and look at our iron farm, because that's also in our spawn chunks. So you can see the Iron Titan there, and you're about to see, as soon as it loads, a couple of more additions here. If you recognize these are the Doc M. They're not originally his. I know he did the tutorial on them. But these are the Iron Golem spawning chambers that have been around since 1.3. They still work in 1.8, and all you have to do, these are just individual villages. Each of them spawns about one golem every 6 minutes. So with 6 of them, including the Iron Titan, we're spawning a little bit better than one golem every minute. The Iron Titan did not end up working well for us. We couldn't figure it out. We couldn't get the spawn rates to be very fast. But it is still producing, so we're going to leave that there for now. And over here, this granite pillar marks our exact world spawn. So you can see that when we come down here, we've got everything that we threw in there, including those 2 bones and the stone bricks and ender pearls. So anything you get will just show up on top of this block generally. Sometimes when it hits a hopper, it will bounce around a little bit, which is why there's this array of 9 hoppers all pointing into each other. And then they all point into this chest, and then those have hoppers down. So you've seen the storage system before. Works out really, really well. So while other people are getting levels, everybody else they're also filling up the ender pearls for people who just want those and don't want to have to go to the end. So if we come in here, we can see that Sonata Block has been working on quite a bit of storage for our iron farm. It is working. We're producing quite a bit of iron. The rate we're getting is roughly 2 stacks of iron ingots an hour, and I know we've got lots and lots of room for this to continue on in the future, and it's only been running for about a day since we finished everything up. So actually we finished it probably a little earlier than this yesterday, so it hasn't even really been running for 24 hours yet, and that's the amount of iron we got. So you can figure each of these chests, if it was running really slow, it would take 2 days to fill one of these up. So 2 days, that means every 4 of these chests is a little more than a week, something like that. But anyway, this is a lot of storage. It's going to give us a lot of time, and it's going to run all the time, whether we're logged in or not, because it's in the spawn chunks. So we are going to be set for iron. That's very exciting. So we have ender pearls, we have iron, and now I'm going to go build Sonata Block his stables, and then you will see the other thing that I have planned for today, and the reason that I'm currently sitting with 61 levels. So it's very difficult to build a surprise for someone when they are just down here sleeping in their beds. So I don't think he's noticed this yet. I tried to build it fairly quickly. You can see it's not a very big design, but this should work, and he should be able to have his nice recessed lighting, his coarse dirt, and that should keep his horses from getting out. So let's run over there and grab Oberon real quick and bring him over to Sonata Block. And I think that that's still a good surprise. So maybe he'll see that when he comes back out. Maybe if he goes out through the back entrance, he won't see that till he sees this video. But either way, I think he'll like that. So that's one more thing off the list for today's episode. Okay, so Oberon is safely in his stables, and we can move on to our next project. And that is why I have these books and these levels. So you can see that I've got Efficiency 4 and Fortune 3, and I've got Depth Strider 3 and Aqua Affinity 1. So I'm betting some of you have already figured out what I'm planning to do next. I'm going to go exploring, and I'm going to find an ocean monument. I'm not going to be able to get all of that harvested up yet. I'm going to take some friends with me when I do that, but maybe we can go through and clear out at least some of it, and then we are also at some point going to build a prismarine farm using those guardians so that we can have access to another new material from 1.8. But for now, we're going to miss the stairs entirely, go back around this side, and go to bed so we can make it not snow anymore. And I will be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so here we are back in our basement. We have access to our anvil, and we do have access to some basic picks, but we don't have is a raw pick to put Fortune 3 on. I don't want to put it on with Silk Touch 1. I don't even know what that would do. So we are going to make ourselves a new pick. And we are probably just going to put Depth Strider on our existing boots and Aqua Affinity on our existing helmet. So let's just do that. And that should be okay. So let's put Aqua Affinity on here. That's pretty good. And Depth Strider. Now, those are some really nice boots. Protection 3, Feather Falling 4, Depth Strider 3. I just wish they had Unbreaking on them. That's going to be the real challenge. Neither of these very nice pieces has that. So that's going to be another thing we're going to have to do is go back and get some books and get Unbreaking. Let's see, we got a couple sticks in here, no problem. Crafting table. Make ourselves a pick. And then let's put some of these other materials away. So stone products and brewing and miscellaneous for the bones for now. Okay, so back over to the anvil, we've got our pick. It now has efficiency 4 and fortune 3. There we go. That also does not have Unbreaking, so we're going to have to be careful with that one. Let's throw that in the tools chest for now. And let's go out looking for an ocean monument. So you can see from this map that we do have quite a bit of ocean around us. I'm not going to do all of that on camera. I'm going to go sailing around, see if I can spot one, and then I will resume when I've got that. And there it is. That's actually really close to the surface. That's not too bad, and it's only at, I don't know. Whoa, hey, yep, there we go. We've got our mining fatigue. I forgot about that effect. That is a little scary if you're not ready for it. But we do have a good way back. It's not too far this direction. So I'm going to mark this, and then what I want to do is actually build a portal on top of it, or somewhere nearby. Maybe underwater even, if we can get down there a little ways away. And then we can connect this up to our nether hub and make it very easy to come back here when we get the Guardian farm set up. So today I want to do a little bit of exploring. I'm not going to mine up all that prismarine. I like the way these ocean monuments look, and we are going to get a Guardian farm for that. However, we are going to take some of the sea lanterns, but probably not these because it looks really nice at night, and this one, like I said, is pretty close to the surface. So let's see if we can get out and break our boat. Maybe we can, if we can catch it. Okay. And see how good our bow shots are underwater. Not very effective. So we're going to come back over this way and try to just get these guys with a sword. And the one thing I should do is use my night vision potion. If I can get this guy. Okay, that's going to be a little bit tricky. And we don't have water breathing potions, we just have a respiration helmet, so we are going to need to back away a little bit and find a safer way to approach this temple. So let's get up to the surface here, let them attack some squids. There we go, looks like we're out of our aggro range. Okay, so let's come up here and we will plan our attack. So what we want to do is, and this actually may be perfect right here, is just go ahead and put an nether portal rather, right up here on this wall. I'd like to do it underground, or underwater rather, but I want to get a glass tunnel or something like that that goes over to it first. So for the time being, it should be pretty easy to put the nether portal in here, and then just later move it down vertically. So let's figure out where that's going to go, and of course we don't have anything for that. We don't have any obsidian, so that's going to have to be the next thing. But we did find one. That's important. So let's go ahead and look at our coordinates. 183, negative 673. I'm going to write that down. Actually, I'm just going to take a screenshot of it. And you can see that we're recording here on the 29th of December. That's going to work out pretty well. I'm just going to let Zio know that I'm recording. And then we're going to go back to town, get some materials, and come back and build this portal. Alright, so this nether portal is now connected to our nether, at least the same layer. It's not really a hub yet, but our nether travel system. And when we come through, we are underwater with a little glassed-in enclosure and some iron doors that leads out into the ocean monument. So, even though we have some pretty good gear, we are going to want some friends to go through and clear this out, and then figure out how we're going to set up the ocean, or the Guardian farm rather. But let's take a quick peek out here. Actually, let's go ahead and use our night vision potion that Livo gave us for Christmas. And that's going to make this a lot easier to see out here. You can see with Depth Strider, we can run around, we can even sprint. It's just a little hard to get up a block. But we can kill some of these Guardians, see if we can get a little bit of Prismarine to drop. That's going to be a little tricky since they do tend to fly up in the air a little bit, or up in the water a little bit. And there we go. Yep, now we've got our mining fatigue and our slowness. That's going to make this combat quite a bit more difficult. Oh, hey, and there's one of the big guys, which I didn't think he was supposed to be able to get through that way. And you can see they have been killing squid. We're not going to do very well with this at all. And we do have a water bottle, a couple of prismarine shards. That's really all we can expect right now until we get a little bit better setup here for killing these guys. So let's actually go back down. I said I was going to leave those sea lanterns. I really want to grab a couple, but not going to be those. There are a lot of mobs here, though, and a lot of prismarine. So I think we're going to be okay. That will probably be a future episode where we can get a group of us together and plan this out, but at least we know where one is now. It looks like it's kind of strange. It doesn't look like it's as deep as I thought it would be, so I thought they were multiple layers or multiple levels, but maybe this is just a small one. Either way, it does give us a great opportunity. We could potentially glass this whole thing off and make this an internal area that we can use for other purposes, so we could potentially take all the water out of here, although that would be a lot of filling and removing in order to do that. But for now, proof of concept done. We have a couple prismarine shards to show for our work, and we have our Guardian Ocean Monument connected up to our nether system. So we're going to run back this way. I'll show you it's not actually that far from town. And we can see the signs at the end now. Really do need to get those rails put in at some point, but for now this is going to work. So town portal this way, going on to Dragon's Head Fort this way, Ocean Monument. So if we come back here, you can see that it's just this far, and that's the spawn portal. So really not too bad at all. I know I could have gone straight back through here, but I don't like making people go through portals to get to where they're going. It might be confusing. It's probably easier for them just to figure out where they are, look at the signs, and walk around. And man, it's snowing again, and there's a creeper. And it sounds like a skeleton as well. Yep. So even with night vision, it's still dark. Did I finally just now get overkill? That's interesting. Oh, I have Smite 4 on this sword, and that's the first skeleton I've killed with it. Yeah. So it looks like some other folks have noticed. I did put down some extra enchanted books here if any of the block farmers are watching and they want some enchanted books. I did the same thing that Levo had done earlier with the books I was trying to get for that exploration. So feel free to help yourselves to those. For now, I think that's all we wanted to do today. We did manage to do a little bit of showing off of what we've accomplished since we had our last actual recorded episode. There's been a lot. Oh, my potion's fading. There's been a lot we've accomplished. I think things are really starting to come together in terms of automation on our server, and I'm really looking forward to getting some prismarine and giving us another type of block to build with. I think that's going to look... Oh, I guess it's just dark because it's snowing. I think it's going to look really nice out here in the snowy areas to have that kind of aquamarine, greenish, bluish color. So hopefully you guys liked this episode. If you did, please do hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, then please subscribe. And as always, I've been Brickwaffle. Thank you for watching.